But all these crazy people are lining up for $1.6, $1.8 million houses that were even like more expensive a year ago. They're still lining up in droves for this stuff. Like something is fundamentally, completely upside down and backwards here.
I just sold one of my properties here in downtown Toronto. Sold it for $560. The people that bought it rented it out for $2,500. Let's prorate it. Let's say they paid $500,000. That equates to $2,200 per month they're getting out of that condo. They completely shit the bed with this thing. I don't know why they bought it, but anyway, that's their prerogative. Then you can go to Trenton. The equivalent condo, let's say, make that $500,000 a million and times the rent by 2. That brings in $4,400 in Toronto money. But in Trenton, I'm getting 10 grand. I'm getting more than double the rent. So just an hour out of the city, you can still buy property, man. It's still out there. It's still affordable. Yeah, it's not posh. It's not whatever, but you can find accommodations. You can find housing. But again, just what are you going to do about commuting and jobs? That's the question.
What jobs do these people have, though, really? Like, I mean,
Trenton,
at the end of the day, like, aren't they all just like village people, you know, like a construction worker?
Like
and
YMCA village people? Or
yeah,
so
you know what I mean? Like, one's a police officer and one's like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, can't they go to these other places? Like, why is it that everyone feels like Toronto is this huge opportunity and that you only can get a good job here? I'm pretty sure they have jobs other places. And
well,
that
I can tell you as an immigrant,
but they don't have enough.
When we arrived here in the late 90s, my parents, they chose Toronto. It's because there's a bit of a support network. There are other immigrants. If you go to Bob Cajun, Ontario, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Find a
you gotta be a pioneer. You gotta go there. You gotta start.
You know, nobody speaks the language.
Yeah,
you don't speak the language.
Shop.
You don't know what to do.
No one's
so
like
that's why it's like the melting pot is here. I mean, can you venture out eventually? Probably, but for immigrants, it's just safer from the perspective.
Fields.
Rally up the troops and say, guys, let's go start our own village up in you know, Temiskaming or wherever.
Yeah. Or Maynooth, Ontario, man. Maynooth, Ontario. I hear it's good.
I was talking to my friend last night, and he was telling me his buddy just bought a townhouse in I forget where, but it was like way west for 1.8 million. And I was like, no, I don't know what.
That's crazy.
Yeah, these are just outliers.
Lying to me.
These are outliers.
I'm not saying
who cares?
Lying, but I'm just saying
it's an outlier.
Like, sometimes people have misinformation.
Subdivisions of these things.
1.8 million townhouse, Daryl. Come on.
It's an outlier.
Even in Oakville, that you know, you can get a townhouse for 1.2 or 1.3.
It's supposedly like a beautiful townhouse, and it's like 3,500 square feet. So like it makes sense, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm telling you, this is the shit out there.
Maybe that's a different story.
See, but all these crazy people are lining up for $1.6, $1.8 million houses that were even like more expensive a year ago. They're still lining up in droves for this stuff. Like something is fundamentally, completely upside down and backwards here.
Like, you know what my favorite part about this whole comment? So we can harp on housing and prices and all that stuff. So then what do you do about it, right?
What do you do?
Well,
open the green belt.
You know, change it with your vote. Change it with your vote. And this is the biggest this is the biggest cop-out answer that I see online that drives me nuts.
Vote them out.
Who? Vote for who? Who am I going to vote for that's going to change this? Please tell me, who do I vote for that's going to make any material change to we have a systemic issue here. We have a system, you know, I saw,
Chow.
Sorry?
Olivia Chow. That's.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's great for investors because she's going to run the city into the ground, and probably the bottom is in maybe 2 to 3 years from now. And that's when you scoop up. The pendulum is going to swing the other way, and then it's going to be all up, sunshine and rainbows. But realistically, like what is going to happen here? Like, who do you vote for? What can you do? I think the conversation has to be, we'll have a systemic issue. Like, how is it that 30 years ago, 8% of a new construction house, 8% of it went to the government, and now 30 years later, 31% of it goes to the government? There's a systemic issue we have with the government that is way beyond politicians. So the question in the conversation should be, how do you fix that? Because I don't have the answer, but I know that going out and voting is going to do sweet all. Like, it's going to do nothing.
A lot of people are talking about the federal government to relieve the GST portion on purpose-built rentals, right? So just 5%, right? So, you know,
okay, so that's a step in the right direction.
If you build a purpose-built rental, you've got to pay. If you do condos, right, and there's HST, the purchaser is paying for that, right? It's in the price. There's a rebate. You know, the purchaser is the one who pays for it. But on a purpose-built rental, because you're keeping the building, because you're going to be the one who owns it, you have to pay on the finished price. You have to pay taxes on the finished price.
Right.
So it means if it's $100 million total project, that 5% would be a $5 million savings, which is not that much. But at the end of the day, most projects I'm sure cost anywhere from 50 to 200 million, whatever they are.
No, if
So
you're
that,
going from 13 to 5, I mean, that can definitely help a lot of projects pencil.
From 13 to 8, right? So there you go, $5 million.
Oh, 13 to 8, 5.
Yeah,
okay,
$5 million now
Maybe.
can go towards whatever it is in order to be able to get that project off the ground instead of them doing condos.
Yeah. So, I mean, but let's look at that because okay, let's say that that's enough to incentivize some developers to build purpose-built rental now. Okay. That money used to get spent on something because, we're not on budget here. We're always like in surplus, right? So now what? Now either all of our public services start to get worse. And I don't know if you've gone to the doctor or anything lately, or, oh my God, I had 2 horrible doctor experiences this week. Okay. Like this medical system is totally going to shit. It's insane. No, but it's insane how it works right now. Anyways, okay, I'm going on a tangent. The point is that money that you're giving to the developers or incentivizing the developers with just evaporated because that guy's going to do a project of some similar scope. Okay. And there would have been a tax component of 5% more, right? And now there isn't. So where does the money come from, guys? Because they can't not make it up. We're already over budget. So where does it come from? Either a service or another tax, right? Or inflation. Those are the only options because it has to get made up because we got to spend more on this stupid fucking thing.
But I'm no mathematician.
Yeah.
If the project doesn't get built, how much money does the government get at that point?
But they're building condos instead of purpose-built rental. They're not building stuff.
Well, there's other sites that are going to end up being built because of this too, right? So you have to look at it that way.
Maybe.
It's like there's got to be some income. Like all these times that these parking lots are being converted into 400 units.
I don't think so. Like there's only
where
so
did all
many
that tax
developers.
revenue go?
But there's only so many guys that can do it. And then there's only so much labor that can do it. So let's say we get another 25 great developers in the city that take on 3 projects each. We can't even build them. It doesn't matter. We could get all the permits in the world. We are in such a clusterfuck that we can't get out of, that the only way out is to completely great reset the system.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What does that mean? What does
I don't know,
reset,
but
what
like,
does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm only saying that for like entertainment purposes.
No, it's
right?
clickbait, but tell me, what does it mean?
Something needs to be fixed because look, if you fix it so it's affordable, you fuck more than half the population out of all the equity they've built. If you bring up wages for all the people so that they can afford stuff now, like that is just like going to fuck things up on a level that we can't even describe. Plus, all those people will probably be unemployed in the next 10 years because of software, right? So like I don't even think we can ever figure it out at all because it's like the only way is to figure out a totally new way of doing this thing. And then that means you need 40 million people to agree on something like this and not like start killing each other or killing who knows who. Like, comment, and subscribe if you got anything from one of these clips. And if you want to see some more, press something on the screen here. Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.